O you who are called by my name, listen closely, for this very moment is a sacred milestone ordained by heaven. Before the mountains were established, before the seas surged forth, I already knew you. From the dawn of time itself, I beheld your life as a flowing river, stretching from the beginning to the very end. You are not present in this world by accident, but by the divine will that I decreed from eternity. Every breath you take, every drop of blood coursing through your veins, rests securely in my hand. As the scripture declares, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Revelation 2:1-3. In that eternity, you were already known, already called, already appointed into a grand design far beyond the scope of human sight. My child, the world may regard you as a fragile being, easily swept away by the harsh currents of life, but in my eyes, you are a radiant flame in the midst of the night, a seed of hope in a field, dried and withered by doubt and despair. Nothing that you have lived through, from your earliest days until now, has escaped my gaze. In those moments when you felt abandoned and unseen, I was there, lifting up your soul. Every whispered prayer in the darkness, every tear that fell when words could not be formed, rose up like incense before my throne. And today I speak to affirm this truth: you have never been forsaken, nor have you ever been forgotten. Remember this, my child, your name has resounded in the heavens. The angels have spoken of you in the divine assemblies. In those sacred gatherings hidden from mortal eyes, the very angels assigned to guard you have reported that you have remained faithful amidst adversity. They have recounted every act of love you sowed in secret, every time you chose truth over deceit, every moment you stood firm when storms of trial raged against you. What you thought was small and unnoticed holds immeasurable value in eternity. For this reason, I call you now with the voice of the Creator, declaring that every sacrifice, every patient endurance, every steadfast belief is weaving together into the great tapestry that I, myself, am crafting. Beloved one, the light I placed within you was never meant to be hidden. It was given to shine upon those around you, upon the souls wandering in darkness who are searching for the way back to me. Therefore, each time you show kindness, each time you choose love instead of resentment, you become a mirror reflecting my heart. Know this, there are those who look at your life and find hope to continue their own journey, though you may never hear them say it. The light radiating from your spirit has touched their hearts. This causes all of heaven to rejoice. For the influence of one faithful soul reaches far beyond what eyes can see or ears can hear. You may ask, why did you choose me out of countless others? The answer is not found in status, wealth, or ability measured by this world. It lies within the heart. I saw in you a spirit that longs for what is good, a heart that refuses to easily abandon faith, even when weariness sets in. As Scripture says, man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 1:6-7. It is this heart that makes you precious in my sight. And it is this heart that is the very reason I speak to you today. You have been chosen, set apart, and are being prepared for a divine work that no one else can fulfill. Look back on the journey you have walked and recognize that it was my hand that preserved you. When you felt as though you no longer had the strength to take another step, it was I who lifted you up. When every door closed before you, it was I who opened a way you had never imagined. When darkness sought to swallow you, It was my light that covered you, so you would not be destroyed. None of this was by chance. All of it is evidence that I have never left you, and I never will. Today, I want you to know with absolute certainty your existence in this life is not meaningless, but is part of my great design to reveal my love and power to the world. Therefore, stand firm in the faith you have held onto. Do not allow the voices of doubt to extinguish the flame I placed within your heart. Do not believe the world when it tells you that you are merely a solitary wanderer in the current of life. The truth is that you are covered by me, guarded by angels, and guided by my Spirit. Know this when I speak. My word does not return void, but surely accomplishes the purpose for which I sent it. Isaiah 5:5-1-1. And today, my word to you is this affirmation: you have been chosen, and you have been placed here so that my light may shine through you to reach many souls. My beloved child, when you lift your eyes to the vast heavens, let your heart open to the mystery that has been planted since ages past. I formed the universe by my word, set the stars in their courses, and ordained your life within a divine plan that cannot be shaken by the shifting circumstances of this world. Do not let your gaze rest only on fleeting appearances, but lift it toward the eternal, where abundant life awaits you in me. The world may whirl you into chaos, but remember, your soul will find peace if you anchor it in my endless love. No storm, however fierce, can sweep away the soul secured in me, the one who created and sustains you. Know, my child, that you are living in the midst of an unseen battle, where light and darkness wrestle for the souls of men. There are sweet temptations, hollow promises, and roads that appear wide, yet lead only to nothingness. But I have given you discernment, a lamp within your spirit, so you may know the path that leads to life and the one that leads to death. Do not let your heart waver before enticing calls, for such allurements last but a moment and leave behind an unending emptiness. Only when you walk in my light will you taste true fullness, the peace and joy that the world cannot give. Therefore, do not delay when I invite you to draw nearer. Many times you have heard the whisper within your soul. Many times you have felt the stirring, yet you let it pass like a fleeting breeze. Do not take such moments lightly, for each time I touch your heart is a call to lead you deeper into the path I have prepared. Do not let indifference or the distractions of daily life drown out that gentle voice. Today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Do not turn away. Do not postpone. Open your heart now, for this is the time of salvation, the hour when I desire to pour out my love in its fullness upon you. So then, do not fear what lies ahead. Tomorrow may be uncertain, but rest assured, for your future rests in my hands, not in the hands of any other power. I am the beginning and the end, and I hold the thread that weaves together every event of your life. What you see as failure, I can turn into the foundation for a new beginning. What you perceive as loss, I can transform into abundant blessing. Look back at your past and see that I never left you. Look ahead to the future and see that hope has never been extinguished. All things rest within my plan of wisdom and love. My beloved child, listen closely, for I will unfold before you a greater vision of your very life within my eternal design. From the beginning, I did not see you only in this finite form, but I beheld you in the eternal light of the life I had already ordained. Understand this every day. every moment, even when you have felt alone or abandoned. I have been walking with you. I am not a distant being who merely dwells in the heavens, but I am the one who is ever present, whispering within your spirit, guiding you through valleys unseen by human eyes. When you face suffering, I do not turn away. Rather, I stand silently with you, holding that pain within my heart, transforming it into part of the journey that shapes your growth. You once thought those losses were destruction, but I tell you, in my plan, nothing is meaningless. My child, I did not create you to live a narrow life, hemmed in by fear, anxiety, or shame. Instead, I formed you so you might walk in freedom, in light, and in glory. There have been times when you let the voices of the world drown out my call, causing you to doubt your worth and your identity. But I declare to you, you are not defined by past mistakes, not imprisoned by failure, and not buried under the accusations of others. You are defined by my eternal love, sealed by my choosing, and covered by my grace. You may think you have wandered too far, that there is no way back. Yet know this, my child, my hand is still outstretched, and my embrace still awaits you. Even if you go to the ends of the earth or fall to the deepest abyss, I am able to bring you home again. No force of darkness can separate you from my love. As it is written, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Let those words become a living reality within your heart. Receive healing from me. My child, I know the wounds you have hidden, the memories you fear to touch, and the silent cries you dare not speak. Let me reach those secret places. I have not come to condemn, but to heal, not to expose, but to cover, not to take away, but to give. If you allow me to enter, I will turn your dark corners into blooming gardens, transform bitter roots into sweet streams, and make your brokenness the beginning of a glorious story. Hear me well, you are not only called to rise after failure, but to become a light for those still trapped in darkness. I want you to understand that your life does not belong solely to you. It is also a bridge for many to see my light. When you walk in my leading, you become a witness to the hopeless. When you open your heart, you become a vessel through which my grace flows. My child, remember that time in my hands is not like the time you measure. What you call delay is in fact perfect timing. What you see as a dead end is the beginning of a new path, and what you consider loss is the seed of a great harvest yet to come. I am shaping you, not to destroy you, but to make you steadfast. As gold is refined in fire, you will emerge from trials with a radiance you have never known before. My child, I say to you, be strong and do not fear. For I, the one who created the heavens and the earth, am holding your destiny. I do not abandon. I do not forget. And I do not grow weary in loving you. If the world turns its back, I remain with you. If every door closes, I will open another. And if all hope seems extinguished, I will breathe into you a new breath, causing the flame of faith to rise again. Step out from invisible chains. Lay down your doubts and embrace the life I have prepared for you. I have called you out of darkness into light, from death into life, and from ashes into glory. Stand up, for you are no longer a slave but a child in my household. You belong to me, and no power can ever change this truth. Therefore, let your heart rest in my love. Trust that all things will work together for your good. And when you remain firm in faith, you will see my hand at work, my beloved child. From the very beginning, before there was light and before any sound echoed in the universe, I carried within my heart an eternal purpose to create humankind in my image, so they might live in communion with me and inherit unending blessings. You are not the result of blind events, but I myself have woven each thread of your life. As a skilled artisan weaves a precious fabric where every pattern holds meaning and purpose. Understand this: when I placed you in this world, I did not leave you adrift upon the sea of trials and darkness. On the contrary, I prepared a path for you to walk. That path may twist and turn, at times hidden by the thick fog of doubt, but I go before you, opening the way, setting signs along your journey so you will not be lost. Sometimes those signs come as gentle reminders, sometimes as painful events, sometimes as unexpected blessings, but all are meant to draw you back to the course I have designed. My child, you often ask in your heart, why must I endure long nights of suffering, rejections, and wounds no one understands? You sometimes accuse me of silence, as though I have left you in the chaos of the world. But know this, I have never left you. In the very moments you thought I was silent, I was working most deeply, for a seed can only sprout in the darkness of the soil, and gold can only be refined through fire. So too must you pass through darkness and flames of trial for your true nature to be revealed. You have been chosen to reflect my light in the world, just as a lamp is not lit to be hidden under a basket, but placed on a stand to give light to all. So your life is meant to shine. Through you, others will see light, receive hope, and be led back to the source of life. Do not think you are too small, too weak, or too flawed to carry out this purpose. It is I, the Almighty, who will accomplish it through you, if only you surrender yourself into my hands. Remember those I called long ago. Abraham obeyed when I called him to leave, not knowing where he was going, and through his obedience nations were blessed. Moses, once a fugitive shepherd, thought himself unworthy, yet I used him to deliver an entire people from slavery. David was only a shepherd boy, but I chose him to be king because I saw his heart. Do you see? My child, it is not about your strength or your position. It is about my choice and my power. My beloved child, my plan for you carries a magnitude beyond what you can presently see. It is not confined to the immediate horizon of your eyes, nor is it bound by the limits of your imagination. You may think that your life is hemmed in by daily routines, by heavy responsibilities, by burdens that seem to rest on your shoulders alone. Yet I assure you, even within those seemingly small and ordinary tasks, I am building something great. Just as small stones come together to form a majestic temple, so too every faithful step you take is contributing to a sacred work that I am bringing to completion. Open your heart and perceive this truth. Every trial is not meant to destroy you, but to shape you. Every success is not solely for your enjoyment, but for your gratitude and generosity. Every relationship you encounter, whether sweet or bitter, has its place within the greater picture I am painting. If you trust me, you will realize that nothing in your life is meaningless, for I have promised that all things work together for the good of those who love me. Listen carefully, for you are called to walk in obedience. No path leads to lasting blessing if you turn away from my words. Obedience is the key that opens the treasures of heaven. Obedience is not merely complying with a command. It is believing that the one who gives the command loves you more than his own life, and knowing with certainty that everything he does is for your ultimate good. Therefore, do not fear when I ask you to let go of things you thought you could never release. Do not tremble when I call you to step outside your comfort zone, for I am your fortress, your sheltering shade, the hand that guides you along the way. Though the path may have valleys deep and mountains high, I remain the one who keeps your feet from slipping. My child, what I desire from you is not worldly perfection, but a heart wholly devoted to me. When you give me that heart, I will use it to accomplish things far beyond your imagination. I will transform your wounds into sources of healing for others. I will turn your tears into streams that refresh weary souls. And I will convert what once seemed like loss in your life into opportunities for you to step into my abundance. My beloved one, within the rhythm of time there are pauses that to human eyes appear as delays, but in truth they are the moments when eternity is shaping your soul. You have wondered why some prayers are not answered immediately, why certain dreams seem locked behind the fog of delay, and why holy desires are tested to their limits. But I tell you, in all those delays, not a single moment lies outside of my wise providence. Waiting itself is marked with holiness, and those days that feel empty are the very classroom in which I teach you patience, humility, and steadfast faith. For faith is not forged in days of calm waters, but in storms and shadows it sinks its deepest roots. When you are battered by the waves, when tears outweigh your laughter, when shut doors make your heart feel suffocated, it is then that I am quietly shaping you to be stronger, steadier, and more mature in spirit. Just as gold must pass through fire to be refined, just as a seed must endure the darkness of soil before it grows into a tree, so too must your soul undergo these seemingly suffocating moments to discover the new life that comes from me. Remember Abraham, who received my promise that his descendants would be as countless as the stars in the sky and as innumerable as the sand on the seashore. Yet he had to wait through many long years. As age weighed heavily upon him, and the hope of having a child grew faint like a mist dissolving in the morning light, it was in that very waiting that his faith was refined. So that at the appointed time I revealed my faithfulness by granting him a son, Isaac, as living proof that my word never deceives. So understand, my child, that delay is not denial, but rather my way of enlarging your heart to receive a greater blessing at the precise moment I have ordained. Do not be troubled by silence, for my silence does not mean absence. On the contrary, it is a silence filled with divine presence, a silence that watches over every breath you take, shaping each heartbeat to the rhythm of heaven. Believe that in the stillness I am still at work, in the seeming delay I am still moving, and in the trial I am still holding your hand securely, not allowing you to slip beyond my grasp. Never forget that my beloved Son, Jesus, also walked through that same dark path. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he sweat drops of blood as he pleaded, "Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me." Yet he surrendered, allowing my will to be fulfilled. In that night of deep silence, when even heaven seemed withdrawn, he still chose to trust, and that trust opened the way to resurrection glory. My child, if the Redeemer himself endured the way of silence and delay, then you too are invited to walk in the same faith, knowing that after the night always comes the dawn, and after sorrow always springs forth new life. Take courage, for I will never allow a trial to surpass what you can endure. I set boundaries for the waves, and I grant you strength to overcome. At times I may not remove the mountain before you, but I give you the power to climb over it. At times I may not extinguish the fire, but I walk with you through the flames so that they break the chains that once bound you. You may tremble, but do not be afraid. You may feel weak, but do not despair. For my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Every tear you shed is never forgotten. I collect them in golden bowls of heaven, where they rise as a fragrant offering before my throne. And every groan of your spirit, though unspoken, is fully heard by me. I do not overlook them, nor do I turn away. Those hidden cries are the deepest prayers, reaching my heart and stirring my hand to act. Therefore, do not be hasty. Do not let your heart be swept away by the restless pace of this world. Walk in step with my rhythm, slow yet certain, quiet yet filled with power. Just as seed time and harvest have their seasons, just as the moon waxes and wanes, so too does your soul pass through seasons of breaking and seasons of renewal. And I promise you, this no winter lasts forever, for the springtime of grace will surely come. My child, I am preparing a place for you in my grand design. Do not fear the waiting, for it carries preparation. Do not shrink back from the trial, for it carries training. Do not lose heart when one door closes, for I am opening another far better one. Trust me, for I am the faithful God, unchanging yesterday, today, and forevermore. My beloved child, engrave upon your heart that the words I speak to you are not the faint echoes of a passing breeze, but the eternal truth, established from the very beginning and founded upon the power of the Creator Himself. Before the earth was formed and before the seas had their boundaries, I had already purposed to choose you, to place you in the sacred flow of my design, so that you would not drift aimlessly like a fallen leaf upon the waters, but would know that you have a destination, a direction, a lighthouse shining in the night. You have known fear, doubt, and the thought that you are not strong enough to bear the responsibility I have entrusted to you. But remember this, you do not walk alone. Just as Moses trembled before the burning bush, and yet I said to him, I will be with you, so too I am with you now. My presence remains the unfading seal and guarantee that cannot be erased. Look back upon your journey and see how many times did you feel abandoned in the storm. And yet my hand was quietly upholding you. At times I let you walk upon the waters of trial, to show you that as long as your eyes remain fixed upon me, you will not sink. At times I permitted the winds to rise and the waves to roar, so that you would realize true strength does not come from your frail hands, but from the mighty arm of the one who created all things. My child, there are paths hidden from human sight that I have opened before you. Do not fear if the world fails to understand you. Do not be shaken when others mock or reject you. The very stones they discard will become the foundation I use to build my kingdom within you. You were not made to fit neatly into the narrow frames of this world, but to rise like the cedar on the mountaintop, unyielding before the storm. Be strong, for I will take you into lands you have never set foot upon. I will open doors that once seemed forever shut. I will grant you grace to speak words of life where death reigns, to sow hope in barren places, to kindle flames in the darkest corners. As you walk in my name, the shadows will flee, chains will shatter, and the prison doors of the soul will swing wide. Listen closely to the secret of my heart. I have not only redeemed you from the depths, but I am lifting you to higher ground. I do not only wipe away your tears, but I place a crown upon your head. I do not only call you one who has received mercy, but I call you one who is sent forth. Therefore, rise, my beloved child, and clothe yourself in the radiant armor of righteousness. Do not look back on the past with sorrowful eyes, but look ahead, where I am preparing a destiny new and glorious. And remember this, the journey is not for you alone. I have chosen you so that through you, many souls will awaken. As the river does not hoard its waters but flows outward to nourish the fields, so you shall become a stream of blessing. The words you speak, the deeds you do when grounded in my will fall like seeds into the earth, producing a harvest 100-fold. I know there will be days when you grow weary, nights when you fall. But remember, I do not require you to be strong in your own power. I only ask you to surrender all into my hands. The more you yield, the higher I lift you. The lower you humble yourself, the more abundantly I pour out my blessing upon you. Therefore, trust in me with all your heart. Do not lean on your limited understanding. In every path you take, acknowledge me, and I will straighten the crooked ways. I will steady your feet as the deer upon the rocky heights. I will put a song upon your lips even in the midnight hour, and I will turn every trial into an opportunity for you to see more clearly my kindness and my power. Therefore, rise and walk in my light. Do not fear the night, for my light dwells within you. Do not lose heart because of mockery, for my voice is stronger than the noise of the world. Do not shrink back before the future, for it is already held firmly in my hand. Believe this truth: you are mine. You belong to me, and you are marked by my eternal and unchanging love. No power in heaven, on earth, or beneath can separate you from that love. Therefore, go forth in peace, live with joy, and stand firm in faith, knowing that I, the living God, walk beside you until the very end of the age. My beloved child, open your heart to receive the words I now speak, for this is a sacred moment in the flow of your destiny. From the beginning, I placed within you the seed of light, and today I desire to bring you into full maturity. Do not let your heart be entangled by the voices of this world, for they are fleeting echoes, like the passing breeze over the meadow, unable to hold the breath of life. But my word is eternal truth, a flame that illuminates, a fountain that refreshes the soul. Whoever clings to my word will find strength beyond all limits, and whoever trusts in me will walk on a path free from fear. Remember, life on this earth is not merely a brief journey of the body, but the pilgrimage of the soul toward eternity. I did not create you to remain bound to what perishes, but to bear my image among mankind, like a lamp shining in the night. Many have gone astray because they forgot they were made to reflect the glory of the Creator. They chase after wealth, power, and fleeting pleasures, only to find emptiness and sorrow in the end. But you, the one whom I love, keep your soul steadfast, for I have called you to a purpose greater than all these things. Be courageous and advance, for I did not form you to bow forever under the weight of the past. The past is but a shadow that has passed away. The present is where I renew your life. I do not want you bound by old mistakes, or imprisoned by lingering regrets. Sin once made you fall, but the blood of my only Son was poured out on the cross to cleanse it all. Believe in forgiveness, for it is not an empty promise, but an eternal reality sealed by my everlasting love. Now, when you stand at the crossroads, do not choose according to your own will, for the way of man leads to destruction, but my way leads to abundant life. The world may tell you that wisdom is found in strength or riches, but I declare that true wisdom is in reverence for me and in heeding my word. Whoever obeys will be led to green pastures and drink from living waters, but whoever turns away will wander in a barren wilderness, never finding satisfaction. Therefore, my child, place your steps within the footprints I have already set, and you will not lose your way. Be watchful, for the enemy is always lurking. He plants seeds of doubt in your mind, confuses you with lies, and makes you believe you are unworthy of love. But remember this, you have been chosen and sealed by me. No power can strip away the identity I have placed within you. Resist deception with my truth, and do not allow any shadow to dim the light within your heart. My child, I desire that you offer me your whole heart, holding nothing back in secret corners. For when you open wide the door of your soul, my light will flood in and transform every hidden place. Fear will vanish. Invisible chains will be broken, and you will step into a freedom you have never known before. I speak to you, true freedom is not found in doing whatever you please, but in living fully within the good will of the Creator. Let my word be a seed sown into the soil of your heart. If you tend it, watering it with prayer and faith, it will sprout and bear abundant fruit. That fruit will be joy that no one can steal, peace that nothing can shake, and strength that no power can destroy. You will become a witness of my love before the world, and through your life, many will find hope. This is what I have ordained for you, and no one can alter it. Therefore, take hold of this promise as your most precious treasure. Do not let it slip away. Do not doubt it. Do not allow anything to obscure it. I am with you today, tomorrow, and forever. You are mine, and I am yours. This is an unbreakable bond, a sacred tie that I fastened from the very beginning. My beloved child, do not lose heart when darkness surrounds you. Darkness never has authority over light. It merely serves as the backdrop against which the light shines more brilliantly, so that you may recognize the true source of life. I want you to grasp something profound. Every pain you endure is not meaningless, not the product of chance or injustice in the universe. No, my child, everything rests in my hands, and I even use suffering to shape, to mold, and to guide you into wholeness. When Joseph was sold into slavery by his own brothers, people might have thought his fate was sealed in tragedy. Yet I turned that evil into good, so that in the end Joseph was exalted and saved an entire nation from famine. What the enemy intends for harm, I can transform into instruments of blessing. It is the same with you. No suffering of yours is wasted when you place it in my hands and allow me to turn it into testimony, into strength, into light. So then, do not only pray that I remove all hardship, but pray instead for the strength to stand firm, for maturity, for faithfulness, even in adversity. Learn to see trials as a sacred classroom, where I am the teacher and you are the student being formed. The lessons may be difficult, tears may fall, but the harvest will be wisdom, perseverance, and a faith that no one can shake. Know this, the enemy always seeks to take advantage of your moments of weakness to sow doubt. He whispers that I do not love you, that I have turned my face away from you. But those are lies. My love for you has been sealed by the very blood of the cross, and no force in heaven, on earth, or beneath the earth can separate you from that love. When you remember the cross, you will see undeniable proof that I have never abandoned you. I gave my only Son so that nothing could ever come between us again. My child, be strong. The strength you need does not come from your own resolve, but from my presence within you. I do not ask you to be a hero in the eyes of men. I ask only that you come to me in humility. Open your heart and rely on my grace. Remember what I spoke to Paul. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. When you recognize and accept your weakness, that is when you make room for me to work wonders. I know that you long for a life without pain, without anxiety, and without tears, and I promise that day will come when you step into the holy city, where there will be no more mourning, no more night, and where every tear of yours will be wiped away. Yet even now, in this present life, I also want you to taste beforehand the fragrance of that peace, by trusting that everything in your life rests in my loving hands. True peace does not come from the absence of storms, but from knowing that I am in the boat with you. Therefore, do not run from trials. Do not resent adversity, but see it as an opportunity to experience me more deeply. In hardship, you will hear my voice more clearly. In the night, you will see my light shine more brightly. In weakness, you will feel my power more strongly. All of these draw you nearer to me, bind you closer to me, and shape you more into the image of my Son. My child, be steadfast. Do not fear the path ahead, even though it may be long and filled with thorns. Every step you take, I walk with you. Every wound you bear, I feel with you. And every victory you gain is also my victory in your life. Never forget that I am the faithful God, who has begun a good work in you and will bring it to completion until the final day. Walk faithfully, and you will see the fruit of faith, the richness of a soul refined in the fire, and the unspeakable joy of realizing that all suffering is only temporary, but the glory I give you is eternal. My beloved, you have traveled a long road, facing many bends that seemed impossible to overcome, and in those very places you discovered human frailty, only to lift your head and seek me. It was in your tears of despair that I sat beside you, though sometimes your heart was too restless to perceive my presence. Now I want you to look back and see that not a single step you took was forgotten by me. Not a single breath you released failed to touch my heart. You matter so greatly that I would not allow your life to drift into meaningless currents of the world. Do not be afraid when you see the darkness thick around you, for that darkness is not meant to drown you, but to awaken in you a deeper hunger for light, like a seed buried in the dark soil. Only when it surrenders to breaking and pressing down can it burst forth into new life. So it is with you, the suffering you have endured, the failures that brought you low, the misunderstandings that broke your heart. All these are not an end, but the rich soil nurturing the roots of your faith. When you lift your eyes to me in pain, that is when you begin to grow in the life of the Spirit. My dear child, the world often measures human worth by what one achieves, by fame, wealth, or position. But know this in my eyes: your value is not based on these things. Before you accomplished any work, before you proved any ability, I called you by your very name. Before you drew your first breath, I inscribed your name upon the palm of my hand, and once engraved there, no power, neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither present nor future, can snatch you from my hand. Do not forget that I have placed within you a deep longing, a longing for eternal life, a longing to return to your true source. It is a cry that the world can never satisfy, though you may search in wealth, in affection, in knowledge, or in fleeting pleasures. In the end, you will still feel the void that nothing can fill. Do you know why? Because only I am the beginning and the end of your soul. Just as a river cannot endlessly flow into a desert but must return to the sea, so too your soul will never be at rest until it returns to me. Remember, within one body there are many members, each with its own function. The eye cannot despise the hand, nor can the hand look down upon the foot. All are needed for the body to be whole. In the same way, within my design, you carry a unique portion. If you abandon it, the world will lose the very thing that only you can bring. Therefore, do not belittle yourself, nor let pride swell within you when you see your part appear more visible. Each one has a place, and your place has been appointed by me from the very beginning. My child, I want you to remember that your journey is not meant to seek ease, but to be transformed. A rough stone becomes a precious gem only through being cut and refined. So too, your soul is shaped through trials. Let all that I allow to happen in your life become a furnace that forges patience, faith, and compassion. I do not cause you to fall, but I allow you to walk through hardship so you may learn to cling to me. Just as the potter spins the clay, pressing and reshaping, and then sets it in the fire so that the vessel may be strong and beautiful. You too are being formed in my hands. Look at Joseph, the son of Jacob, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and cast into prison. Yet those very paths that seemed to end in ruin led him to a throne where he would preserve a nation from famine. Learn from this. No trial is meaningless when placed in my hands. What you endure today, I will turn into tomorrow's opportunity. The pain you bear now, I will use to heal the wounds of others. Every scar, when touched by me, becomes a living testimony of my power and my love. Trust in me. When you are weak, know that my grace is sufficient for you. When you are weary, come to me, and you will find rest. When you are confused, let my word be the lamp to your feet and the light to your path. Do not chase after the restless voices of the world. They only lead to emptiness. Learn instead to hear my gentle yet powerful voice, a voice that never forces, but always patiently calls. And once you hear, you will realize that you have never been alone, never been abandoned. My child, you are now in a season of transformation. I have planted within you a new seed. It is sprouting, even if you cannot yet see it clearly. Do not doubt, and do not rush. Be patient, and allow me to complete my work in you. Just as spring cannot be hastened, so the work I do in you will bloom in its appointed time. Believe, for I am the one who never delays and never misses the hour. All that I do is perfect in its season. Though your eyes may not yet behold it, Your heart must learn to wait in steadfast faith. I want you to rise, no longer bowing your head in shame, no longer trembling in fear. You are the child of the King of Kings. The blood of victory runs through your veins. My throne of glory holds a place for you. So walk as one who is redeemed, forgiven, and commissioned. Dare to dream of great things, for I am the one who can do immeasurably more than all you ask or imagine. Stretch out your hands toward the future, for I am opening a new door for you, a door no one can shut. Top of form, bottom of form, my child. I say to you, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will uphold you with my mighty arm. I will lead you through every season of the storm. Even now, I desire to plant within your soul a new seed of life, a calling that reaches beyond your intellect and pierces to the very depths of your being. You are walking in the midst of a chaotic world, where the noise of desire, ambition, and power seeks to drown out the gentle yet powerful voice of my spirit. Yet in the midst of that darkness, I've appointed for you a light not born of human wisdom, strength, or knowledge, but from me, the Creator of heaven, earth, and all living things. Do not let your own weaknesses discourage you. You may see yourself as nothing more than a grain of sand in the desert, or like a fragile leaf carried away by the wind without direction. But remember, I once called Moses, a frail shepherd. To stand before the mighty Pharaoh, I chose David, a young shepherd boy. To become king of a great nation, I summoned simple fishermen to be my apostles, bearers of truth to the ends of the earth. If I used such ordinary lives to accomplish extraordinary works, shall I not also work through you? Lift up your head, for the strength you need does not come from within yourself, but from me, the inexhaustible source of life, the one who never changes, the one whose voice shakes the very heavens with a single word. Now, my child, I want you to understand that the path to which I call you is not an easy one, nor is it the road that many will choose. It is the narrow way, one few dare to walk, because it demands surrender, obedience, and complete trust in me. The world may promise you fleeting glory, temporary joys, and shallow comfort, but I promise you an eternal reward, a glory that can never perish, a joy that will never fade, and a life that triumphs over death itself. Consider this well. Will you cling to what fades away in a moment? Or will you grasp the treasure I have prepared for you that endures forever? You may now ask, Lord, what must I do to be worthy of such a calling, my child? I tell you this, no one can ever make themselves worthy. It is not by works or human effort that you are chosen, but by my boundless grace. Believe, walk by faith, and keep your heart tender to the leading of my Spirit. When you are weak, my strength will be made perfect in you. When you think you have lost everything, that is the very moment I am preparing to reveal the fullness of my kingdom. Do not seek the approval of men, for their gaze is fickle and their praise quickly forgotten. Seek my gaze instead, for it always rests upon you with eternal love. Seek my word, for it is the foundation that will never be shaken. When you stand upon my word, every storm becomes an opportunity for you to see my power at work. When you remain faithful, all of heaven rejoices, For one soul has chosen loyalty in the midst of darkness. My child, I command you, step out of your comfort zone. Dare to believe in what cannot yet be seen. Dare to set your feet upon the water as Peter once did. For I am waiting for you in the midst of the waves. Do not fear sinking. For when you cry out, I will reach to take your hand. Do not fear failure. For even when you stumble, I will turn your fall into a stepping stone for greater glory. Remember that you do not walk alone. Before you goes I, beside you is my spirit, and behind you stands an entire host of angels, upholding you. Be strong and steadfast, for the battle you face is not yours alone, but mine, and I have never once been defeated. My beloved child, walk in the light and do not turn back to the dark days of the past, for I have broken the chains of yesterday. I have wiped away the tears from your cheeks, and I have placed in your hands a new beginning. You no longer belong to the shadows, nor are you a prisoner of your mistakes. You have been redeemed at the price of priceless blood, and now you belong to me, the one who created the universe and who holds your soul in eternal shelter. Trust, for what I have begun in you will never be left unfinished, but will be brought to completion until the day my Son returns in glory. My child, I never measure you by outward achievements, nor do I compare you with anyone else. My eyes see into the depths of your heart, to the place where no man can reach. Do not let your soul be shaken by slander, contemptuous glances, or rejection. People may shut doors in your face, but I am the one who opens a door that no one can shut. I speak to you, do not let your heart remain bound by painful memories. Lift up your eyes, for the field before you awaits its harvest. I have given you seed, and that seed is not in vain. Be patient in tending it, for I am the one who sends the rains and seasons so that it sprouts in its appointed time. And then the harvest of blessing will overflow until your storehouses cannot contain it. My child, believe that my power is not bound by circumstances. I can turn the desert into a lush garden and dry ground into flowing streams. In the same way, I can transform what seems like a barren life into a field full of life. Open your heart, for I desire to do new things. Do not cling to old forms, for I am the one who is ever new, ever creative, ever opening a way where none has existed before. Step forward in faith, for I go before you to prepare the way. My child, I do not promise that the path you walk will always be smooth, but I promise that you will never walk alone. When you pass through rivers, I will be with you so that the waters do not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, the flames will not consume you, for I am your covering and your keeper. Be strong and courageous, for I am your shield, your fortress, your safe refuge in every storm. What I have prepared for you is beyond human imagination. You think you are only given a small portion, but I say your inheritance in me is abundant and overflowing. You think you are worthy of little, but I say I will pour into your lap a measure pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You think you are insignificant, but I say I will cause you to stand among the nations as a radiant witness, so that many will see and glorify me as God. Remember that I never forget my covenant. What I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I fulfilled. And likewise, what I have promised you, I will surely bring to pass. I am not a man that I should lie or change. I am the faithful one. From generation to generation, you need only to keep faith, and you will see my glory revealed. Therefore, be watchful and keep oil in your lamp, for the hour draws near. I want you to walk as one who is wise, making the most of the time, for these are urgent days. I am calling you into deeper intimacy, so that you do not only hear my voice in prayer, but sense my leading in every breath. Do not chase after the noise of the world. Seek the quiet place where you can hear the whisper of my spirit within your heart. I give you this word so that you may stand firm. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 1:4. Indeed, you do not need to strive in fear, for I am the one who fights on your behalf. You need only to stand in faith, and I will reveal my glory. My beloved child, listen carefully, for what I speak is not merely words of comfort, but a torch to guide you through the darkness. I know there are days when your heart feels as though it is walking through a barren wilderness. You long for water, yet you see only desert. I want you to know that I, myself, am the living spring within you. When you grow weary, return to me, for I will refresh your soul. I am the place where you find true rest, not the fleeting rest the world gives. I am the shade in the noonday heat, the shield that guards against the enemy's arrows, the one who grants you peace that no one can take away. Remember, this peace does not come because everything goes according to your plans, but because you place your trust wholly in me. Knowing that I hold all things and nothing happens outside of my goodwill. Remember this, you were created with a purpose. I did not allow you to be born in this time, in these circumstances, by chance. Every detail is woven into my plan. Each step you take, each person you encounter, each experience you live through, all are threads in a greater tapestry. You cannot yet see the full picture, but I see it clearly. You only see fragments, sometimes tangled, sometimes dark, but I am weaving them together into a masterpiece. Trust me, for my design is always more beautiful than anything you can imagine. Therefore, do not be afraid when you find yourself at a dead end. Do not despair when a door closes before you. I have the power to bring you out of any confinement, and no force can stop me. Remember, even when you think you have failed, I can turn that failure into a stepping stone to lift you higher. Your story is like that of Joseph. I have not finished writing it, and the ending will be more glorious than anything you could dream of. My child, you have walked with me through many layers of revelation, and now I desire to unveil to you something most profound, the fullness of the destiny I have ordained for you. What you once thought was misdirection or failure were in truth the lower notes in a symphony I composed to bring you to completion. You may not understand now, but in time you will see that every event, no matter how bitter, carried the imprint of my love and my infinite wisdom. Know this, I am the living God, the one who formed you in your mother's womb, the one who breathed life into you, the one who sustains your soul each day. You are not a stranger wandering aimlessly upon the earth. You are the child of the Creator of heaven and earth, anointed, called by name, and placed within my eternal plan. I remind you once more, your existence is not an accident, but a living testimony to my power and purpose. Do not fear the days to come, for I am the one who goes before you. When you step into unknown lands, I am already there. When you face the shadows, I have lit the lamp of truth. when you tremble in weakness. My mighty hand has already lifted you up. I will never abandon you, nor will I forget the covenant I have made. Just as I promised Joshua, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So today, that same word still resounds for you. My child, there are times when your heart longs to see quick results, to step into the harvest that you have awaited for so many years. Yet every seed needs time to die, to sprout, to grow, and to bear fruit. No seed ever springs up in an instant. All must pass through the cycle that I have ordained. Do not be impatient. Do not rush, for I am not slow as humans perceive slowness. Rather, I am patient, waiting for all things to reach their fullness. In the very moments of your waiting, I am shaping your soul, purifying your motives, and aligning your will with mine. Listen well, do not seek recognition from people before you have sought approval from me. For the eyes of men are fleeting, they may praise you today and forget you tomorrow. But my gaze is eternal, and my approval is the solid foundation that cannot be shaken. I have chosen you, not the world. I have called you, not the voice of fame. And once I open a door, no one can shut it. Walk forward in confidence, for my hand is the surest guarantee. I want you to recall the times when I delivered you from the pit, when you fell into sin. I stretched out my hand to lift you up, when you thought there was no way out. I parted the sea before you, when fear surrounded you. I dispelled it with the breath of my peace. These experiences are not scattered memories, but living testimonies that I have walked with you and will continue to walk with you. Every victory, every rescue from the past is the foundation for you to believe that I will keep acting on your behalf in the future. Therefore, do not lose heart when the storm rises around you. I permit the winds to blow not to destroy you, but to reveal my strength. Just as a young tree needs the storm to drive its roots deeper, so your soul needs trials to become steadfast. No hero of faith was ever forged in comfort. They were formed in the furnace and through tears. Do not run away, stand firm, for I am with you in the fire. And that fire will not consume you, but it will burn away the chains that bind you. Hear my decree, the dreams I have sown in your heart will not die prematurely, even though the enemy seeks to choke them, even though time makes them seem withered. My breath will revive them. Just as a dry tree blossoms by streams of water, so will the promises I have given you bloom in their appointed time. Treasure them in your heart. Nurture them with prayer and obedience, and you will see the day when I fulfill them. I want you to know that the greatest gift I give you is not merely success, not merely open doors, but my very presence. You might lose wealth, lose reputation, even lose the support of people. But if you have my presence, you have everything. In my presence there is peace that surpasses all understanding. In my presence there is joy no one can take away, and in my presence you will find strength to continue until the day you see me face to face. So remain faithful in the little things, for I use the small to test your heart. Do not despise steps that seem meaningless, for hidden within them I conceal glory. Do not worry about tomorrow, for each day has fresh mercy enough. Live today with gratitude, and you will see heaven open. Blessings poured out until there is no room left to contain them. My beloved child, open your heart to receive the words I am speaking to you in this very moment, for they are not mere sounds, but life itself flowing from my eternal wellspring. Listen with the depth of your soul. For what I reveal is light for your path, breath from heaven, and strength that can lift your weary spirit even in the darkest of nights. Know this, my child, the journey of faith is not a smooth road adorned with roses, but a narrow path lined with trials, yet one that leads to glory the world cannot comprehend. Offer me your weakness, for in that very place my power is revealed. Hand over to me the burdens you cling to, for they were never meant to rest on your shoulders. You were not created to carry weights beyond your strength. I have promised that my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. If you insist on holding on, you will be exhausted. But if you release them into my hands, you will find me upholding you, and you will walk in a peace the world cannot give. Do not fear the tomorrows ahead, nor tremble before unopened doors. Every season of your life has already been appointed by me. The time of sowing, the time of harvest, the time of mourning, and the time of rejoicing, all are woven together in my perfect design. Be patient, for I am teaching you what it means to hope in the waiting, to sing in the midnight hour, and to stand firm in the storm. This is not punishment, but training, that your soul may be strengthened, and that your life may testify that my grace is sufficient for you. I call you to walk in trust, even when the way before you is hidden, for faith is not believing only after seeing, but believing even when nothing is visible, like a boat adrift upon the waters, uncertain of the shore, yet casting its anchor into me. That is what I desire from you. When you remain steadfast in faith, you will become a beacon to those lost in the shadows, and through your life they will know that I am alive and still at work. Therefore, do not let your heart waver. Do not allow the whispers of fear or the accusations of the enemy to bring you low. Remember, the days ahead are not only filled with trials but also with glory. I will transform your sorrows into testimonies, your tears into seeds, and your hidden sacrifices into a fragrance that delights me. When you look back, you will see that everything I allowed in your life carried purpose, and not a single moment was wasted. Hear me now. Beloved child, my words to you are not mere comfort, but a covenant, sealed with my own power. Your life is not a random stream drifting without direction. It is held in the hands of the one who set the heavens in place, laid the foundation of the earth, and breathed life into humankind. Every breath you take is a sign that I still have a plan, a divine purpose yet to be fulfilled in you. Do not think that loss or brokenness has stripped everything away. In truth, they have only cleared the way for something deeper. Look back on the road you have traveled. There were moments when you lifted your head in joy, and moments when you bowed it in shame. Yet in both the highs and the lows, I never abandoned you. The long nights when you thought yourself alone were the very hours I covered you with my unseen presence. When others turned away, I remained. When laughter faded, I still heard your sighs. And now I want you to understand that every experience, painful or joyful, has been gathered by me. I weave them all together to craft a new garment, adorning your life with a beauty you have never known before. Do not wait for a grand miracle before you believe that I am at work. Let the eyes of faith open, so you may recognize the quiet yet profound things, the seeds sprouting in the dark soil, the dew falling in silence, the light breaking through heavy clouds. In the same way, the changes I begin within you may appear subtle, but they are certain and unshakable. The day will come when you look back and see how each link connected, realizing that it was my hand that lifted you from the depths and led you into peace. My beloved, I do not promise you an easy journey. The sea will still rage. The night will at times grow thick, and tears will sometimes fall. But what I assure you is this: you will never walk alone. Even when you cannot feel it, I am by your side. When you collapse, I am the arm that lifts you. When you are misunderstood, I am the one who knows your heart. When you cannot find a way out, I am the light that guides your steps. My word is not empty philosophy, but living truth proven through generations from Abraham, Moses, and David to countless other witnesses. And today, you too are invited to become such a witness. My child, do not hastily conclude that your life has closed its chapters. When one door shuts, I open another. When one field withers, I sow a new season. And the season I have prepared for you is near, a season not only for your own good, but one through which many others will find hope. Consider the oil lamp a small light, yet it can drive away the darkness of a vast room. In the same way, your life, though seemingly fragile, will be lit to shine for those in despair. Do not allow the voice of doubt to steal what I have planted. Fear will say you are not enough. Past sins will remind you of your history. Weariness will tempt you to give up. But remember, my word is stronger than all those voices. Let the truth I have spoken become your firm foundation. You are one who has received mercy, called out of darkness, and placed into an eternal inheritance. You may tremble, but your feet will stand because I am the one who holds you. Now, step out from hesitation. Do not cling to what has died. Do not keep your eyes fixed on what lies behind. Lift your head, for before you shines the light. Dare to believe that what I have spoken will surely come to pass. For my word never returns void. You will behold a new day, and in that day, you will recognize that I have been waiting for you all along. When you step in, fear will no longer bind you, but you will walk in peace that surpasses all understanding. Remember, it does not end in pain, but in restoration. It does not end in loss, but in abundance. It does not end in darkness, but in radiant light. And you yourself will testify to this truth. Therefore, rise up. Let your trembling heart grasp my steadfast hand. Let your faltering steps walk into the new path. I, the Father, I am waiting for you at that very beginning. And when you arrive, you will know that you were never abandoned, never forgotten, but always loved to the end. My child, I do not call you to remain in the old place, nor do I raise you up only to return you to your former weariness. I call you to move forward, to step into the land I promised from eternity, to live in the fullness I have destined for you. Do you know why I must emphasize this? Because many times you have sat hearing my promises, yet your heart still hesitated, still doubted, still feared that if you surrendered your life entirely into my hands, nothing would be secure. But my child, what in this life is truly secure apart from me? Have you not once placed your trust in your own strength, only to realize in failure that it all slipped like sand through your fingers? Have you not once placed hope in relationships, in people, only to discover, when they turned away, that your heart was left empty, abandoned, and wounded? That is why I call you now. Place your trust solely in me. My child, Remember the beginning, when I called Abraham to leave his homeland, to part from his family, to set aside all that was familiar in order to journey to a land he had never known. He had no map, no assurance other than my word. Yet it was his obedience that made him the father of many nations, richly blessed, and still today a model for generations to come. My beloved child, do you know what I long for in you? It is that same simple trust and obedience. I do not desire to strip away your joy or your freedom, but to grant you a new kind of freedom, freedom no longer imprisoned by anxiety, by failure, or by the fears you try so hard to conceal. I know there have been nights when you lay awake, staring at the ceiling with a heavy heart. You have asked, why must I endure these things? Why is everything not easier? Why do I keep circling the same weary path, my child? Such questions are not foreign to me. Even my beloved Son, Jesus, cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me in his hour of deepest anguish? Yet, look closely, even in the moment that seemed like abandonment. My plan was perfect. From the cross, new life was born. From tears, eternal joy blossomed. From sorrow, salvation was opened for the nations. So too, your tears are not meaningless. I see them all. I record them, and I will transform them into streams of grace. My child, have you ever truly allowed me to guide every step, or do you turn to me only when you are empty? Then return to your old ways. Once things appear stable, understand this: I am not only your refuge in storms, but also the light that illuminates your daily path. I am not only present in the dark valleys, but also on the mountaintops of glory. I am not only the deliverer, but the companion who walks beside you. When you open your heart for me to enter every corner of your life, you will discover a new order, a peace unshakable, and a hope that never fades. Do not think that I choose only the strong, the wise, or the flawless. No, I choose the weak to confound the strong. I choose the unskilled to reveal my eternal wisdom. I choose hearts that are soft, willing to surrender, and I have chosen you. You may look at yourself and see countless flaws, but I look at you and see a masterpiece in progress, a precious jewel being refined. You need only remain in my hand, and I will complete the rest. Therefore, today, I call you to lay down the burdens you have carried for so long. Lay down the regrets of a past you cannot change. Lay down the fears of a future you have not yet seen. Simply take hold of my hand. I promise you, I will never let go. I will go before you. I will walk with you, and I will finish the work I have begun in you. But you must choose. No one else can choose for you. Today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart, for opportunities do not remain forever. I am merciful, but I am also just. I am patient, yet I will not allow hesitation to stretch endlessly. The time has come for you to step out of the worn comfort zone and to trust that I am great enough to carry your life. Rise, my child, and follow my call. A new journey awaits, and I am waiting for you on that path. Listen closely, my child, for what I reveal is not merely a summons, but an open door into a new way for your life, a way where light replaces darkness, where hope overcomes despair, and where truth sets you free from every chain the enemy has used to bind you. Do you not know in my eyes? You have never been a failure, never abandoned. You are a treasure of great worth, a vital part of my grand design, woven since the beginning of time and preserved through the generations. I know you have grown weary as you look back upon your life, when you see dreams left unfinished, promises yet unfulfilled, tears shed in secret, and wounds untouched by anyone. But, my child, I did not allow those burdens to come in order to crush you. I allowed them to shape you, to refine you into someone stronger, just as gold can only be purified in fire, and diamonds can only be formed under great pressure. I know there were many moments when you wanted to let go. Many times you longed to walk away from this path. Yet I say to you, I have always been beside you, whispering into your spirit, even when the noise of this world made it hard for you to hear. That is why I have come today, to let you know that I am opening before you a door that no one can shut. That door is restoration, healing, and renewal. In my eyes, you are the chosen one, the sanctified child, the one entrusted with my mission. You do not need to compare yourself to anyone, for within you I have placed gifts that are unique, gifts no other person possesses. The world may despise you, people may overlook you, but I have not forgotten a single detail of your life. Remember when I called Moses from the burning bush, he trembled and said he was unworthy. Yet I turned a shepherd into the leader of a nation. Remember David, just a small shepherd boy. Yet I chose him to defeat Goliath and to become a king. In the same way, I do not look at your present limitations. I see the future I have ordained for you. So rise up and walk forward. I call you to cast off resentment and shame, and to clothe yourself in the new garment I have prepared for you. That garment is righteousness, freedom, and joy. Do not let the bitter words of people drown out my gentle call. Do not let failures blur your vision of something greater. I declare to you, a new season is coming. A field ripe with harvest awaits. And you are the one I send, not in your own strength, but in my power. The tears you have sown will become smiles in the day of reaping. The pain you have endured will be transformed into a mighty testimony for the brokenhearted, and all that you have gone through will become the very key that unlocks light for other souls. Do not doubt my love. Do not think you are too far away to be redeemed. No. I have paid the price with the blood of my only Son, and nothing can diminish its value. All you need is to return, to open your heart, and to believe. A new life will be poured out upon you. Never forget, you are not walking alone, for I am with you. Place your hand in mine and walk each day in trust. The path ahead may not be fully clear, but each step of faith will open light for the next. Rise from the ashes, walk with new strength, and see yourself through my eyes. You are not merely a survivor, you are a conqueror. You are not merely the wounded, you are a healer. You are not merely a seeker, you are one who will find. My child, listen closely, for this is the final word I long to place within your heart in this stream of revelation. Do not think of it as merely the end of a series of utterances. See it as a door opening to a new journey I prepared long before you first beheld the light of life. Everything I have spoken to you from the beginning until now has led to this very moment, where you must choose whether to walk in my light or retreat in fear of the darkness. I have not come to fill you with dread, but to grant you a freedom that no power in heaven or on earth can take away. Consider your life. How many times have you returned to the same old anxieties? How often have you allowed shame and doubt to drown out the gentle whisper of my spirit? I know every struggle within. Every sleepless night when your heart has wrestled with the question, is the Lord truly with me, my child? I have always been there. Even when your soul felt barren and your lips could not form a prayer, I have seen you, loved you, and waited with patience for your return. Do not fear that you have wandered too far. No step is beyond the reach of my outstretched arms. No pit is too deep for my grace to descend. No wound is too hardened for my power to soften and heal. Therefore, today, I want you to know that you are not a wanderer, stumbling aimlessly through the mist. You are a bearer of light, one whom I have placed to shine for those still lost in shadow. When you lift your face and walk under my covering, others will see it, and they will know that hope still remains. You are a living witness to a generation drifting without direction. Now is the time, my child, to release every chain that has bound you for far too long. Unhealthy ties, habits that numb your spirit, the thoughts that make you question your worth, all of these have no place in your life any longer. I will replace them with confidence that flows from the wellspring of life, with joy that cannot be shaken, and with a love that keeps you steadfast even when storms rage. Remember, this love is not fragile nor fleeting. It is the eternal covenant I have sealed with you. Do not let any voice but mine define your worth. People may forget, abandon, or belittle, but I, the one who created the heavens and fashioned you with my own hands, have never and will never see you as insignificant. You were created with intention, and that purpose cannot be stolen. You have been sent to bring life, to build up, and to give away what you have received from me. I know the days ahead will not always be easy. There will be times when you feel as though you have no strength left to continue. Yet never forget, your strength is not from yourself, but from me, the living one, who has promised never to leave nor forsake you. Hold fast to my word as an anchor for your soul in the storm. And when you emerge, the victory will not only be yours, it will become a living testimony that draws many others to hope. Now I say to you, rise. Walk as one who has been set free. No longer bow under the yoke of sin or fear, for I have broken it. Let your heart blaze with love. Let your hands stretch wide to embrace and to give. Let your eyes see beyond what is before you, and let your feet go where I send you, even if it is a path few dare to tread, for I will be with you there. My beloved, know that today is a beginning, not an ending. All that I have revealed until now has been the foundation for you to step into this new season of mine. I trust you, for I have already placed within you everything needed. Therefore, go, live, shine not in your own strength, but because I dwell within you. I promise, my grace will be sufficient for you today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Thank you for receiving this message. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so together we may continue to embrace the living word, strengthen our faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.